Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Lakeville Open Space meeting of Thursday, October 2nd, 6 p.m. at the Lakeville Senior Center. I'm David Zalonis, committee chair, and we have 6 active members, and all are present for this meeting. LakeCAM is recording the meeting. Is anybody else recording?
No.
No. This meeting is now called to order. Okay, the first item on the agenda is to review and approval of the September 4th meeting minutes, which were distributed ahead of the meeting. Is there any further discussion on the meeting minutes?
Yes, they weren't approved on September 4th.
Well, that's true. I will let Kathy know that. Yeah, that came out on there, huh? Okay, well.
They weren't.
No, not officially, no. All right, so I will let her know that. Approval date. Okay, other than the approval date of 9/4 being on there, which shouldn't be.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Do I have a different, mine doesn't say that, it says review and approve September 4th meeting minutes.
And,
Oh, you have the minutes
On
on
the
the
minutes.
agenda?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, mine has it on there too. So I think when the last update came through. that,
And she just didn't change
she
it?
just dated
Gotcha.
it, so that's a minor, easy correction to make.
I know.
So, so did we have a second to
We did.
approve this? Okay, so all those in favor of approval of the minutes?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
that's unanimous. With that one correction on the date. All right, committee commission updates. The Escalopset Pond Complex, they meet quarterly, and I did attend the last meeting. And let's see, I have a few notes, just a few notes of interest. Last time I mentioned that they were looking for rangers, and they did hire 3 rangers, so they're all set now, which is good news. Let's see, there wasn't pretty much the usual things. There's White Banks Road, there's a lot of people dumping trash on it, which is an ongoing issue they're dealing with. Betty's Neck, the visitor center did not open this year. Now they're looking at spring of next year. There was some funds and other resource constraints that prevented that from happening this year. So, but they are planning for next spring, and of course that's in our goals to help support that as well. So, but that's next spring. And Serpent is continuing with their work on the Nemasket River and Long Pond as far as sedimentation issues and the removal of weeds, which is ongoing. And the next meeting will be in December 10th, same time at the police station, 9 a.m. And that one is going to be an annual summary, and it will be videotaped. And I will be attending, and of course it's open to anybody to attend. And I think that's it for the APC.
So are we going to file for a grant to help support it out of our funds?
No, we just support it as, I know one of our goals, I think I saw in there, is that, support them with events at the, Betty's Neck, as available and as needed. It's not, we're not doing any grants or CPCs.
No
but
financial support?
No. If it's something we get into our goals that correlates to that, then we'll talk about. But right now, that's all. It's just a general thing. That's why we report out on what the APC's activities are, because we are directly related. That's one of our open spaces, that entire complex. Okay. On the Conservation Commission, this is just a web page check. I did review this September agenda, and it's a fairly small agenda. There's nothing really significant to open space on there, the usual business items. And their meeting minutes, the last posted was the July 8th meeting, which is not too old. So that's pretty good for posting. But there's nothing that directly we need to react to for open space. Historical Commission?
We'll be represented at the Austin Music Festival this weekend, And on October 19th, we're having a walking tour of Thompson Hill Cemetery to discuss some of the famous residents of Lakeville who are buried there. And you get to see, when you go there, to Thompson Hill CPC funds, because we've had 2 grants to get stones reset and refurbished at Thompson Hill. So those are the 2 things that are going on at Historical Commission.
Okay, and that's posted on the Historical Commission site as well?
It is, and it's in the town newsletter.
Newsletter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Rain date is October 26th.
Okay. The CPC?
So I wasn't able to attend, but I did watch, thank you, LakeCAM. I did watch the video, so there really was nothing that pertains to the Open Space Committee.
Okay, all right, thank you. And the Park Commission?
Park Commission. Okay, so we have an event coming up, and I brought a flyer for you guys to look at. We have Ted Williams, our 3rd annual trunk or treat at Ted Williams Camp. It's October 19th, 4 to 6, and then 3:30 to 4 is for sensory sensitivity. So there'll be no lights, no loud music, no anything. So I brought that, and I brought my little bribe to see if you guys wanted to come and do a trunk. Actually, this year
That's nice.
I had already decided that I'm doing a forest, so I thought that kind of correlated with open space. So I thought maybe you guys wanted to come hang out, run the open space forest booth. And then, I'm getting ahead of myself, but then that booth is gonna segue into our Christmas holiday stroll, which is also at Ted Williams Camp on December 13th. And instead of being spooky and dark, it's gonna be bright and fun. The same thing, it's just gonna be reimagined. So if you're available one or both of those dates, that would be great.
That's great.
So, wait a minute, it's the 20th?
The Lions
The
Club will be there, so I'll
It's the
probably be there.
19th
Yeah.
with popcorn.
Popcorn, yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, at least Bob will have us covered.
Bob will have
See,
us
I'll
covered.
keep that in mind.
It's one of the most fun activities that we do. We started, the first year was 300 kids. We were all astonished that we got that many kids. Last year was about 450 kids. So weather permitting, we were probably expecting about that, if not more, this year. And last year we started, because we have 6 or 7 town departments that participate. So we made a trophy last year, and the DPW got to take it home. So they're gonna have to bring it back so we can hand it out maybe to somebody else this year.
Nice.
So yeah, so the participation is really impressive.
So that's the 19th. I'll try to be there.
That's a great
So
thing to do.
you have to bring your own car, obviously.
You do, unless you wanna come play in my forest.
Oh, come play in your forest? All right, maybe I'll do that. Do I have to dress up like a tree?
You don't, but that would be fun.
Okay. 2:30 on the 19th.
Okay, anything else? Or-
That's the biggest thing coming up now. We've entered into our slow time, so now is a lot of paperwork, relooking at applications, all that good stuff. And then in the spring, it skyrockets and
off,
picks
yeah.
back up.
All right, thank you. Next item, agenda item 4 is the 2025 open space plan
We're
status.
still waiting for it to come back from DCR. When it
Yeah.
comes back, we'll be a happy committee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it can't be much longer, I wouldn't think.
Well, you know, it's been there a couple of months now. I wait every day to hear that it's back.
Mhm. And when it comes back through,
It comes back through the town clerk, the select board's office, the town clerk's office.
Okay.
And then they tell us if they want us to change anything or fix anything, add anything, remove anything. And then it's good to go.
And how often do you do this? Every 5 years, did you say?
It's 10 years now, I
yeah,
think.
it was 7, now it's 10.
Now it's 10.
Okay. We're getting close. All right, next item 5 is the properties list and the conservation restrictions was what we were last working on, and Joan had given us some expiration dates, updates, and corrections at the last meeting. I took those and put those into the conservation restriction file and distribute that to everybody. And is there any comments or further changes needed, or is that list complete for now?
I think that this was fine.
Should be all conservation restrictions in town, to our knowledge, are now on this list.
That's right.
There's a total acreage of 1,672 acres.
Okay.
And, yeah, I think we're in good shape on that list. One other thing, on the Chapter 61 list, we did a review earlier this year, and if you recall, there were like 6 discrepancies or properties that were not on the 2025 list that were on the 2024, and we worked with the assessor's office, and all but 1 were resolved. And the last email I had from the town assessor before he left was that, and you know, everything still needs to be confirmed, but was that they, their Chapter 61 10-year agreement had expired in December of 2021, which was a few years ago. I don't think anything's happened with the property, but I did prepare handouts for everybody to look at it, because it happens to be a PPA, and it came out of Chapter 61, and it was a few years ago. We need to assess what we should do. So it's highlighted in yellow. This is off the town assessor's map. It's about 15 acres of vacant land. It does have frontage on County Road, and it goes right up against the Berkeley border. And if you look at the Serpent PPA map, it's clearly in
Priority.
the priority list right there. And as I put the vision and property cards here with it. So it looks like it was probably, you know, family property in an estate by, you know, just reading through this. And the owner lives in Middleborough and is vacant land. The land surrounding it, which is all PPA, is pretty much in Chapter 61 now, most of it. Some is not, but a lot of it is. And this one was, and now is not. So my thought was that I should notify town administrator, Andrew Sukaforth, and the acting town assessor, John Oliveri, and let them know that, to our knowledge, this has come out of Chapter 61. It's a PPA, it's open space, and just so that, at least so they're aware of it. And then also, I'm gonna be at the Forest Convention this Saturday, and Wildlands Trust is gonna be there, plus the DCR is gonna be there. And I can just in general see, you know, I can show them, you know, is there any interest? I don't know if they're looking to sell this property or donate or anything. They had a good tax break on it, but according to this, they are no longer entitled to that unless they refile, which they can do, if they're notified that they let it lapse.
But it's not 1023 times, is it?
So, I don't know if anybody has any, I know that you're just seeing this now, but any other thoughts? But that was what I was gonna do, as a minimum notify town administrator and assessor, and just check with a couple of conservation efforts.
Did they get the mailing that went out?
They were on the mail list, yes.
Okay.
So as where it's vacant land and they live in the town next door, and it was, let's see what year did it pass. Looks like it was 2021 is when it changed ownership. It looks within the family, so, and then it expired 3 months later, so
I think it's that's not 1020, isn't it 1023?
it might have just got missed. Maybe he wants to keep the land in the family and wants to, but he's gonna have to
Is it-
refile
that's
for
chapter
Chapter
land?
61.
That's the thing.
And
Yeah. And then
when it
otherwise,
comes down to
he'll
chapter
lose
land, this
his
is
tax
what it's for.
incentive, which
Oh,
is,
okay, so there's,
um,
where's the tax?
you know, there's a pretty good incentive on there, so. And then if he wants to get rid of it, possibly,
See, this is what makes the
or as a
difference.
PPA, maybe some conservation trust might be interested in it,
It's a
or
big
Still is?
difference.
the town doesn't have
It's
any money
not.
really.
That's what
And the
was.
CPA doesn't have a lot of money at this point
Isn't
yet.
this a current one?
But, you know, those are options that could be looked at if it's PPA property vacant, that
Isn't this a current vision board?
is kind of in an unknown status right now. Does anybody have any other thoughts on what we should look into?
Who would
No.
usually contact them? Us or the town administrator? I can't.
Well, let's see, Joan, do you know from history what, something, a property comes out of chapter 61? This is the first time I'm running into this. I know we would notify the town administrator, but as far as contacting the landowner,
I mean, the landowner contacts the town and said they're taking it out of chapter 61, then the town should have the right of first refusal.
no.
If they're gonna sell it,
No,
right?
no, they took, it expired 3 years ago, and I think where the land changed ownership within the family, it probably got missed, is
Right.
what I'm guessing. So they may wanna just re-up to chapter 61.
They may.
But, so I think if I contact the interim assessor, because we don't have a town
You
assessor
don't
right
have
now,
one.
they would probably send a letter notifying our, either, and I think that's what our assessor had said, he was gonna send a letter.
To them.
Yeah,
So it may have expired, but why is it still so low? Because that's definitely
Right.
not 1023.
no, yeah, I think
Okay.
it got missed.
Oh, you're
So-
saying, so it's,
It missed.
it's expired, but they're also getting the
Right.
benefit.
Oh, they're
Exactly,
Yeah.
it missed.
Yeah,
Because
that's what
they're
it looks
not
like.
paying the
It
regular
missed,
taxes, yeah.
exactly.
So the response from our last assessor recently was a letter will be going out to see if they have filed with the forester. If not, the parcel will become fully assessed. So, but now that that assessor has left, I gotta follow up with the interim assessor, because that may never have happened. So I think that's what happens, is the letter goes out, and if they refile, then, you know, things stay as is. If they don't wanna file, we can see if
It's in
they're.
price $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a family estate, usually family.
But I mean, even the appraisal doesn't match, so they're still getting the
Right.
benefit of the
Oh,
Still
yeah.
getting the benefit,
So you
yeah.
can
No,
call them and point that
Of
out.
course, the assessor's cards are not necessarily totally up to date either, as we found out.
Right.
So anyway, so there's some unknowns, but that's what we do with the chapter 61. That's why we monitor it, to look for things like this. So anyways, I will follow up with the assessor and the town administrator, and I think they should be contacting the landowner. If they want us to, we can, but I think it's it's what they do.
Because they do the taxes, right?
Right.
So, because if they don't re-up, they would go
Right.
after the 3
Yeah.
years of back taxes.
That's what I was wondering, how they gonna go after them for the 3 years of back
The
taxes?
back taxes, they should.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know, we don't know any of the details of it, so I'm just saying but this is a situation that's what, you know, we're here for, to
Yep.
to look
Okay,
at.
so yeah, so what are we gonna do?
So anyways, I will follow up
Okay.
on that and let you know at the next meeting what they say. So that was under our properties list, and we've got plenty of lists. So I think our lists are, that was out of the chapter 61 analysis. Our conservation restriction list is done. I think our lists are good for now, so until next year. Okay. Anything else on property lists from anybody else? Okay. Agenda item 6 is the Land Conservation Outreach Program. And I'll just give an update on where that is with what's come in. So, let's see, the letters went out the last week of August and everything was posted. So on the items on there, the first one is to attend the annual Massachusetts Town Forest Conference at the Middleborough High School on this Saturday. And they first said it was 120 registrants. They increased it to 130. They had so much interest. So it is full and there's a wait list to get in there. So I know I am registered and I will be there. So it's a good opportunity to learn a lot about, you know, what's going on with the forest conservation. And there's a walk in one of the conservation properties in Middleborough in the afternoon too. So, but anyways, they said it gets full up every year. They do this. They do it in a different town every year. So anyways, that's this Saturday, and I'll report out on that next meeting. The next item was just that the DCR Service Forester contact information is there. He's gonna be at the Forest Convention on Saturday, but he is available sometimes, a lot of times his voicemail is full, but anyways, he is definitely an expert in land conservation. He covers southeastern Massachusetts for the Massachusetts DCR, and he knows all the details, and that's who I would pretty much send everybody to. So that's ongoing. The Wildlands Trust live webinar, Land Trust and Land Preservation, which is scheduled for Thursday, October 16th at 6:30 p.m. And I know I have registered for this, and the registration does work, so I encourage everybody else to register if they can. They're available Thursday, October 16th, 6:30. Even if you don't have land to put into a conservation reserve, just to learn. What's that?
I have the other committee meeting that day.
Okay.
See?
You do, all right. Well, if you're available. Maybe they'll have a tape of it later.
Maybe.
Yeah. But anyways, that should be very interesting. They're gonna explain the most common ways to protect your land, if you know, for conservation and your family.
Is it the same as we did last year?
No,
Both of
this
us
is-
attended it last year.
No, this is something new.
Is it different?
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is specific to Wildlands Trust,
Yeah.
you know, what they do in this area. And they're, you know, they're heavily involved, southeastern Massachusetts, and they have a number of the conservation restrictions in Lakeville. So, and of course, the UMass Extension, the Mass Woods pamphlets, which are still at the town hall, the library, and here at the senior center. I did a check, maybe a few taken, the ones at the library were shuffled around. I know some people looked at them, and got some nibbles, but didn't bite, you know, they put them back. But probably a few have been picked up, but there's still, you know, plenty of inventory there. So the pamphlets are there. They're also available online for anybody that wants them. And of course, contacting the Open Space Committee, I had 3 direct contacts, which I mentioned at the last meeting, that were seriously interested in the Chapter 61 program. One was a 61A and 2 were 61B. And then I had 1 address correction, and we also had 6 returns, non-deliverables, not bad out of 224.
Oh, really?
And one said moved, and one actually is, the town of Lakeville, I didn't notice it, the mailing address was the town hall. Because town of Lakeville is the co-owner because they can't find the owner of the property. It's vacant land here in town.
Who's came back?
That was Sarah and Charles Bump. And you see the address is the town hall. And I went back and checked the card, and care of town of Lakeville, because they don't have any known address for owners. Yeah. And so one was an address change, and if you wanna look at these, you can, so I didn't investigate the other ones, but that was the first one that came back, and then I just picked up those others this week.
Yeah, I should go down and see.
And,
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't it? You don't win and not even.
and one of them we knew was a developer, which had a common address with another
Okay.
developer, so one of them didn't come back.
That's not bad for that many.
No.
So, you know, we're not gonna be chasing everybody down, but that's, so out of the 224 mailings, we had 6 come back, and a lot, you know, the direct contacts to the Open Space Committee is, you know, is just immediate feedback, but they, other people could be going directly to the DCR or the Wildlands Trust, so you don't see all of, you know, what's coming back, but that's, just to update you on what we've got through our email address and directly to us. So everything is in motion on this, and it's a good program. And any other comments or discussion?
That's good.
Okay, all right, so I think, let's see, we already thought those are the 2 live items. Okay, so the next agenda item 7 is the Lakeville Arts and Music Festival. And the application was completed and accepted, and brought in the Lakeville Open Space flyers for Joan to put at the
I'll
shared.
be there all day, so.
Yeah.
Well, this is
I
a
thought it was
lot.
a,
We need more than that.
No, that's good.
and,
It's
Yeah.
perfect.
I got the case in the car if you want more.
There you go.
But I think that should be plenty. So, so what are the hours on that, Joan, or, you're doing the whole
10 to
day?
4?
I'll be all day.
And it's, what was it, 10 to 4?
I think
10 to
it's
4.
10 to 4, yeah.
Okay, so, and Bob, you're gonna be there for the Lions. You're probably there for Park.
No. The park's opted out.
Okay. All right, any discussion on the Lakeville Arts Music Festival? Okay. Next item, agenda item 8 is the Open Space Committee goals. Now, we just went through and completed a number of things with the outreach program, and we did the informational flyer for the committee earlier this year, and so we're gonna, start to free up and look at our goals. What should we be focusing on next? Obviously, we react to what comes in from, the select board or the planning board, or, whatever. But, that's, hit or miss when something's gonna come up. So, we do have about 20 pages of goals, and,
I worked off of this one because this one actually says responsible departments.
oh, yeah, that's
You
on
hear
here,
those,
right?
yeah? So I was working off of this one, yeah.
So,
Same
yeah, I
for
got,
you, yeah.
I got this out of the 2025 draft
Yeah.
plan. I know it doesn't have the latest dates on it, but, the other thing before we get into this is, Joan and I were just, last
Master
week
plan.
at the Master Planning Committee meeting. We had to do a report out on, because Joan did the Historic Commission, and then Joan and I did the open space. And so they have their own list of goals and things, and with our items on it. So if the Master Planning Committee is monitoring these specific goals, it's probably something we should put a priority on. If that would make sense. I mean, it's all in here. But just to run through what they only had like 5 or 6 items on there, and some of it's done. So, like the first one they had, we were backup, we weren't the main ones on it, but to update the priority protection area map, which Serpent did, and that's, pushed through by the planning board and town planner and we're support. And that was completed, and we have that. Let's see, the other ones they had, let's see, that's, this is a better list. That one is done. Okay, then we had, it was on here as to adopt the, and so this list goes on for years apparently. So to adopt the CPA, Community Preservation Act, which was completed in April of 2022, we were listed in that, and I know it was probably before my time or something. But anyways, that's complete. That was another complete one. Then we get to the next page, and they have some open ones.
Oh, I see.
Which page you want?
Page 7.
7, we're working our way there.
Okay. So, and the first one is rekindle partnership efforts between private landowners, land conservation groups, and state and local governments to enable future open space acquisitions. And then, so that's part of our outreach program, is
It
meeting
is.
those goals, and, we're lead party on there with the Conservation Commission. In complementary actions, they had adopt an open space residential design bylaw. And that is going to be here. It says it's going to be, but it's going to be at the fall meeting for a
It is.
vote. Planning board puts it out. We did review it earlier in the year, gave our inputs, and it's the planning board will be presenting that the fall special meeting for vote. So that's if that gets approved, that'll be done. I mean, that's been going on for years. The next item was to update the open space and recreation plan, which we already talked about, and that's just waiting for final state
I'm
approval.
waiting.
So that's done. Then the next one is kind of an open item here. This is continue efforts to promote the value of and access to open spaces in Lakeville. And the first strategy says, explore the creation of more recreational trails within existing protected open space, connecting them to existing trails in town. Yeah, well, and let's see, complementary actions, update the towns, we already got that, it's open plan. And it says the main steps to complete that goal would be identify the current trail network, develop areas where new trails would be beneficial, create a strategy to connect the existing and future network. And we're listed as lead party with the town planner, which doesn't exist.
Right.
So, but you know, this is obviously is it a priority enough. It was put on the master plan implementation committee's
Okay.
follow-up list. So, Joan, you have the most history with this.
How do you identify?
Has anything been done as far as trail maps on?
I don't think so. Do you know anything about trail maps? Betty's Neck has a map.
Betty's Neck has trails and Ted Williams Camp has trails. Are there trails anywhere else on any of these lands?
Vegas has trails, Ted Williams has trails, Betty's Neck has trails.
And they're marked trails. Yeah,
They-
there are things
they-
on
they
the
are.
website, like Betty's Neck, it doesn't, well, it has a map, but it doesn't really,
They're not marked well.
They're not-
no, it doesn't
I
define
mean,
it.
if you go
It's
there,
not the
you know where to
trails.
go on the trails,
Right.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And the same thing with Tamarack, of course, the trails.
There are trails there, but they just pretty much go down to the water, they're
Yeah,
not much for
that's it,
trails, they
yeah.
just go
Right,
down
the
to the
fishing
water.
paths, yeah.
Right,
Yeah, and these are, this is done with the Buzzards Bay Coalition. I don't know.
I mean, they're not marked, but you know where you're going once you
Yeah.
get there.
So there is some information on there, but yeah, the trails aren't, and there's really not much trails there. And
Yeah.
Betty's Neck would.
Right, and
I
Ted
think
Williams
they
has a
miss
walk-in
out.
trails.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
But there's no way that we're gonna link any
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, right,
yeah, shuttle bus or something.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think we can link them. Yeah, this is just an example.
and there are a
This is-
couple of trails at
You know,
Vigorous.
that nice trail map, there's Borderland State Park over in Easton.
In
which
Easton,
you
right.
do- And, you know, they have a nice trail map, and then they describe all the trails, what they're like, and that, something along that line would be nice if, I'll have to check with Nancy
would
if they have anything for
It's
Betty's
what, and
Neck.
that's one of the big goals in our open space plan is to develop trails and have maps.
Yeah, so, I would think,
I know Ted Williams, our biggest one is a mile that goes all the way around the park.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's all. Where the one in Easton, those are miles and
Oh,
miles and
yeah.
miles.
yeah, so it would be a simpler map for us.
For us, it would.
Yeah,
But I guess they.
We would have to identify the other land that's protected, that's what they're saying, right? Is that they want us to join the other lands to these already networked?
Well, ones that we
Well,
have, and, say, are on a conservation list,
Isn't that what they're saying? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, first we're gonna first identify the current trails, but then
right,
they're looking for us to develop new trails that would connect to them.
oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
But the
like
first
bike
step is
trail
to
down-
identify your existing
existing
trails
trails,
with
right.
maps.
Right,
Look at the feasibility of any linkage, which is probably not feasible, but, so that's easy, that part, I mean, relatively easy. Making the trail maps, I'm not so sure.
right, and one of the
Uh,
goals in the open space plan is to make a brochure for each of the town
Right.
parks
Yeah.
with a map and tell what they have. That's one of the
So-
ultimate goals in the plan.
So would that be something that would work off of what
Mm.
exists, like these?
Mm.
You know, and these are available
right.
online.
Mm.
Um,
Like, so you would be able to go to the town hall or Ted Williams Camp or the library and pick up a brochure for each of the parks in town and say what they have and a little trail map and a description of the property.
Right, so, you know, they'd be available online on the town
would be.
website, and also you could pick up
You could pick them up somewhere.
hard copies at the town hall maybe,
Exactly.
or library.
I mean,
That would be the goal.
I think that's a good start, right?
I don't.
Yeah.
So, the properties that have trails right now are Betty's Neck, what's that, Ted Williams
Vigors?
Ted
Camp.
Williams, Tamarack, and Vigors.
So those are the only ones that have hiking trails right now?
I think so.
All right, so I guess the first thing, and I would think the APC must have one for Betty's Neck, wouldn't it? I mean, there's so much information
I
on
would think they
it.
probably do.
I can check with Nancy, or if you wanna check with
I'd ask
Nancy.
Nancy.
Yeah, she would definitely know if they have
She
a
would.
trail map for Betty's Neck.
I don't think I saw any online when I was doing all the searching.
Yeah, I see the maps with, the general area, but it doesn't detail the trails.
Right.
It shows the parking areas, I think that's about it. Parking areas and the overall where the water is
I
and where
think
the
that's a
land
good
is.
start to do those.
I do.
It'll take a bit, so, about a year.
So I guess,
I mean, what else, was there anything else
That was it for open space.
that was it for us, okay?
well, so if we were gonna try to work on this trail goal, and I'm sure everybody saw the Mascot News article on Lakeville and Middleborough
Oh, no.
open space, and that was, I don't know,
When was it?
Last week?
yeah, September 25th issue, for Welcome to Betty's Neck.
Nice.
I don't know, maybe Nancy was involved in putting that up, I don't know, it doesn't say. But then it covers Lakeville and Middleborough. Not trail maps, but there's some advertising for open spaces to enjoy. So that was there. So there's a bit of information out there, but to meet this goal, so identify current trail network, we've got 4 of them. I can check with Nancy, they should have an existing map. The other ones, how do you generate maps like that?
I don't know.
I think you have to have a map builder, maybe,
Is this something Serpent has to do?
They probably could.
I guess I can check with the town
We have
administrator.
X amount of Serpent hours every year, so
Yeah,
that's something they could, they may even have maps.
because if they have maps, but they'd have to get the trails onto the map. So, I've never done any trail map, so
No.
I don't know what goes into it. But I can see what the result is, the one for Borderland State Park, I think has everything you would need, nice picture, trails and descriptions of the trails. I think that's all there is to it, but,
Can I see that one, David?
yeah.
Thank you.
I can do, I don't wanna overstep, but are you asking us to like pick a spot and work on it? Are you saying you're gonna do it, you want one person to do it? How do you work? I don't know.
I'm looking for ideas on how to do it.
Right,
I did, on the first one, Betty's Neck, I can check with Nancy, give her a call and see if she's got anything. That's easy. How, if we, and if we're pretty sure there isn't one on Ted Williams, Tamarack, or Vigors, is how do you create them? If anybody wants to take, finding out how, but
I mean, Vickers has just one trail. It goes all the way up and then it goes back. They were gonna make it loop around, but I don't think they did.
Does it get maintained? So it does it get maintained so it doesn't all grow over?
It was.
Is that what we're supposed to do?
You
Yeah,
can, you
you
can.
wish.
who, does the DPW maintain them? Who maintains them?
There would probably
Nobody?
volunteers, yeah. I don't know who does it.
Who maintains it?
Yeah.
The highway department, I think, clears it out. There's a cemetery up there. You have to be able to get up to the cemetery,
So
so,
it has to be cleared.
so I think the town maintains it. It didn't used to,
So-
but I think it does now. I wouldn't
So-
stake my life on it, but I think
So
it
it might
does.
be a good question for the town administrator. Who maintains the trails? How do we go about making trail maps? So if somebody wants to volunteer to talk to Andrew,
I can talk
do
to
that.
Andrew.
Okay.
It used to be maintained enough that people started out at Vegas and walked through my front yard.
Oh, yeah.
I will take Ted Williams Camp and do descriptions of the trails.
And you're
Or
gonna
at
talk
least
to
we'll
Andrew
have-
about
And I will talk to
how
Andrew.
how
how
the
to do a
town
trail
trails
map.
are maintained and how we can generate a map.
Yep.
You know, whether it's Serpent has to be, use some of their hours and they can do it for us, and then we add descriptions. But, yeah, if you could talk with Andrew,
Yeah,
get,
He can maybe point me in the right direction.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so that would be helpful. So I think this is a good goal for us, and get some ideas of where to start, because that's all we're doing today, is just find out where to start. Okay, and then in that same one, they have enhance the open space committee webpage to provide residents and visitors a place to find and enjoy the public open spaces. So it's that's together with this one. So once you have all this information, it's just a matter of updating the
And what-
website, so it's.
And what I had said at the master plan was I would put up on the open space website the parks that did have trails. So that would be a start. Whether they have maps or not, at least they have trails now that people could go on. Not marked as well as they should be, but to at least let people know that they can go there and walk on town
Right.
property.
and whether pets are allowed or not allowed,
Mm.
because that's big.
So when you talk to Andrew, are you gonna ask him those things, like, can we do stuff to the, you know what I mean, like, who, will you ask him that? Are you
So
gonna-
if you
know-
wanna create like new trails or finish that one, who does that?
Yeah. Cause you're
Sure.
gonna ask who maintains it too, right?
Yep.
Thank you. I know the trails next to our house in New Hampshire, they ask for volunteers.
Yeah. And then
Oh, you know where else there is one? At Clear Pond.
the Clear Pond has a trail?
It does, it goes, it's a mile and it goes all the way around the
Oh.
pond.
Oh, that's still there? Okay.
It's still there.
Okay.
It's not maintained, but it's
See,
still
that's the
there.
thing, yeah.
Mhm.
So, you know, that's the first step in that goal is to, you know, get maps of the existing
Do you
trails.
want me to take any of the other properties, or,
Well,
I guess
you know,
after
do
you
wanna
talk,
work- you
we'll have to
wanna-
wait till after you talk to
Wanna
Andrew,
work with
right?
Melissa on it together or somehow? I don't know how you do it.
I'll let you know
Okay,
what Andrew says.
you have my email,
Okay.
right?
All
Yeah,
right, so,
keep it there, yeah.
so that just, I think that was it for the
Mhm.
the implementation committee meeting.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, so that's everything there. So that's one thing that we'd be working on is the trails. And then if you look at our goals, I'm sure everybody read through 17 pages or so. I know that the latest dates aren't in there, but
They're not that different.
no, I know a lot of it's general and they're
A
overlapping.
lot of it's ongoing.
Yeah, a lot of things that we're working on. But what I did is I looked at the ones that has the open space as the lead and had a due date between this year and 2027.
Mm.
Of course, those were probably bumped out a year or two with the final version. But figuring the other ones are ongoing list, but the ones that have due dates that are coming up in our master plan probably should be
Do those first.
prioritized
Right.
so that we don't miss dates that we put into our master plan. So I had come up with 6 of them that had us as the lead with dates between 2025 and 27, and 2 of them are already complete.
Right, 2 of them on.
Yeah, so that left 4, and I prioritized them by the year that's in this. So goal 4-2A was for 2025 according to this. So goal 4-2A. Objective 2A. Okay. That says, of course, goal 4 is develop a priority protection database of open space parcels in Lakeville. Objective 2 is to place conservation restrictions on valuable parcels, both town-owned and privately owned. 2A, and specifically, which has a time frame of this year, says, research town-owned open space parcels to determine level of protection. And responsible department, open space committee, and the assessor's office. So we have the list already.
We do.
So this is in progress.
We do.
And this is the most timely goal in this plan that's about to be approved. So I think we can work on that, which is let's determine the level of protection. So, of course, some of the town parcels have probably no protection other than the town owns them, and some might have something. Jonah, do you know?
Well, some of them, the town, I mean, like the one we were talking about today, is owned by the Concom, but is protected by the Massachusetts general laws. So that's a big protection, but that was not a conservation restriction, but it's actually protected by chapter 40, section 8C. We had, in order to take it out, it has to go through the state legislature, so that's a pretty good protection for, and there are several parcels in town like that.
So I know you're the most knowledgeable in this.
Yes, that's.
So I'm thinking you might want to take the lead on it.
Okay, sure, I will.
But
You bet.
we already have the list. We only had it in PDF format. You should have it.
I do.
Melissa, you probably don't have it, but I can get it to you.
Also, in the text of the open space plan, there is a list of town properties and how some of them are protected and how some of them not, like the kind of protection that they actually have on them. And I also have a list from the assessor's office that tells me some of those things, so we'll take the lead on that.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, you know where all this information is, and you probably have a lot in your head, too. So,
What about the land from that one that got returned to us? That
They
we
can't
sent,
find them.
then they couldn't find them, so the town what happens to that?
Good question.
If they don't pay their taxes, doesn't the town own it?
as far, I think they were listed as co-owner,
Oh, the town is?
yeah, because, you know, there's,
I mean, it's
They can't find
there's
the
a
owner,
long
yeah.
list.
so they probably have a lien on the property because the taxes on the paid, they can't find the owner, so they're co-owner.
I'm not sure. if
And then I'll let the legal.
Right.
tell
I was
you that.
looking at it today.
And, I did, somewhere in here, I did bring,
Oh, I don't have it,
Oh,
but I do have
yes.
a huge list
Of the land owned, town owned?
of,
Or that-
like, small properties that the town owns now. I
Oh,
have,
yeah,
I have
this-
that
yeah.
list.
Really?
yeah. So, and, yeah,
I don't
this
have it
is,
with me, but I have
this
it.
is, well, I have the town owned here, there's a total of 9 parcels owned by the town, and some of them are like, .1 acres and things like that,
Right.
so, but, this, we only have it in PDF format, and you have this, and I'll get it to Melissa, but, so if you use this list and do your analysis, between the open space plan that's in approval, and what you know, and the assessor's information, even though we know a lot of the assessor's information is not totally up to date sometime in the
I actually
plans.
have one with with levels of protection too for some of these, so.
Oh, you do,
I do.
but that wasn't the one that, yeah, we got this from the assessor's office earlier
did.
this year, but so, yeah, so, but you have this one as well, so if you take all that information and
Sure,
see what you can do with it,
you
and,
bet,
next month we can see,
sure.
where we are. But, so this goal is also well in progress.
You bet.
And I'll just make a note, Melissa, I'll send you the list that you don't have. We have a number of vacant land, you want, if you want them.
Sure.
Yeah, we have one for vacant land, we have town-owned, this is town-owned vacant land. Listing, of course, we have the chapter 61 list, and you have the conservation restriction list, which I just sent out. And this priority protection from Serpent is available online somewhere. I had trouble finding it again. I had this
Oh, that's not
printout.
easy to find.
No,
It is not easy to find.
and, yeah, I couldn't find it. I went on the Serpent site and I could not find it there. I went on the town website and I couldn't find it.
It's
I
tough,
found
tough to
it
find.
in our draft, open space plan.
But it took me forever to find
Yeah.
it, to get it there.
That's why I got it out of there because, and this, we were distributed this earlier when it came out from Serpent. But I found it online one time. But
I found it online, that's why I printed it when I found it, because it was
But now I can't
otherwise.
find it. And I did a search on it, and on their
And that was
site.
that was the last one they finished too.
Yeah, 2024, so, it's up to date, and,
It is,
but anyways, that, if you can find it, it's, but it is in the open space plan.
it is.
Thanks to Joe. Alright, so just, keep this moving on the goal, so we got the trails, and we got the, this on the, which is goal 4-2A, and then the second one that comes up is goal 2-3A, which has got a 2025 to 26 date on it.
Which one was that?
Goal 2-3A. This list is pretty intimidating how long it is. But I said a lot of it is overlapping and repetitive. And a lot of it is ongoing. Goal 2-3A, okay. So, goal 2-3A, goal 2 is enhance open space and recreational opportunities. And objective 3, develop guide to use data for town-owned
Goal
parks,
2-3A.
recreation areas and open space. And, responsible party first listed as open space, time frame 2025 to 2026. And the action is, which we just talked about, develop trail guides for all town-owned recreational properties.
And that's moved to 2028,
Okay, all right, but
just so you know,
but
so
we
that's
did-
something we're gonna be working on now, because that's what we're talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah, we did. I know we
absolutely.
just put it on the list, we're starting to work on
Absolutely,
that now. So that lines up with, we
With
just
what we're
talked about
doing now.
earlier from the master implementation plan. So that one, so we've got that one going. And then, you know, we run out of resources and time, we stop, we're going down the list. But the next one, these are all the short-term ones, was goal 4, 3A. Goal 4, 3A. Goal 4 is develop a priority protection database of open space parcels in Lakeville. You know, which would be kind of nice. We have the priority protection map that I brought up. We don't have parcel IDs on it. That'd be such a great reference if you could just, you know, these are all the parcels that are in the PPAs. But no, you have to look at the map and the shape is in there, that's it. So I did mention that at one meeting. That's something under this, maybe we can get that, you know, put into this goal. But so the 3A goal is identify land that provides this one goes with connectivity with neighboring towns, and assess the potential for regional conservation and recreational preservation projects. Open Space Committee with assistance from SERPID and neighboring towns, land conservation. So this one's fairly complicated. And Joan, do you have any background on this? And
I don't.
you said this one got moved to 28?
That
This-
was the other one.
This one's 2026 and beyond.
Oh, it's, oh,
Yeah,
now it's got an
2026
and.
and beyond,
Oh, if it's got an and beyond, yeah, because this one
and
looks,
beyond.
I think we drop this one for now.
I mean, this is
because-
kind of thing like Betty's Neck. That's-
Yeah, this is
So,
huge.
Is there anything in Berkeley or Rochester?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the 15 acres, it borders on.
On Berkeley,
Berkeley, which is
Right.
all PPA property, I'm sure
Right.
on their side, 'cause it's all forest land that crosses the Lakeville-Berkeley line. And I drove by there today, you know, before coming here, and yeah, it's just all open forest land.
Mm.
And it goes, you know, that one borders on Berkeley, and so that's neighboring, but we'll see what kind of interest, because there's, it's all PPA property all around there, owned by different people, mostly in Chapter 61, and I don't know what's on the Berkeley side, I didn't check that. But, you know, if we could pick up that property as a conservation area, it's a foothold in the middle of a PPA area that, you know, is currently privately owned under temporary protection.
Right.
And maybe we could put you know, a little piece of that in, you know, more permanent protection, you know, if we have the interest in it from a conservation trust or something. And any owners are willing to sell, we don't know.
No, right.
They may just want to keep it. But anyway, so that's a neighboring town, but I think where that's gone to and beyond, I think we're gonna have enough to get going with the trails
Right.
and defining some of the other conservation restrictions. So I will take that one, that's G43A. I will, if everyone's in agreement, we'll not specifically work on that one right now. Okay, and then I only had one other that was in the short time frame, and that was goal 41A. Okay, 1A, inventory, open land, agricultural land, and other land of conservation, retention, or acquisition interest, and assess attributes. So, and Open Space Committee is listed as the prime responsible department, but the Conservation Commission, Assessor's Office, and Planning Board. And this said 2025 to 2027. Potential assistance from SERPID and, you know, conservation organizations, the DCR. But we have an inventory of the open land,
Yeah.
okay?
we do.
And agricultural land is, either it's in 61A or it's in that
Right.
open land. And we have the conservations, lines. So we have the list of land, it's just, I guess, level of acquisition interest and attributes. And I don't know, Joan, if you have a feel for what that would be defining? I mean, obviously, if it's in
If we
a
wanna put
PP,
this
if
in.
it's in a PPA, that would be an
Right.
attribute for acquisition interest.
Right.
If it's, I don't know, got some water on it, or protection of water is important.
Is that what it would be?
I mean, because we have all these lists.
Right.
Yeah,
And try to group them together
kind of.
and see what would be really important to
Try to
Yeah.
acquire.
Yeah, I guess kind of put them in a priority.
Yes.
Yeah, we have the list, put them in priority, this is why this is a higher
Right, I mean,
priority.
if it's a nice
because
piece, a
these.
nice piece of forest land, or a piece of land that abuts water.
Yeah.
I mean, these would be the,
Or abuts,
assess the
yeah,
attributes,
or abuts some already protected property.
about something that's already
So it
protected.
would, I guess it would mean taking the list and taking each of them that are on that open land and the conservation list, and of course, if it's
Almost-
already in
almost
conservation,
grid-
you're already done, right? Those
Right.
are in perpetuity, you don't have to look at those.
Right,
Well, ones that are not protected in perpetuity, would look at them individually under a list of attributes and see where they stand. So we would probably want to generate a list of that.
See, it
But
would
we don't have
actually-
to do it tonight.
you would actually look at the ones, because inventory open land, agricultural land, and other land of conservation, retention, or acquisition interest, so you would actually use the land that's already,
Okay, we can put it on the
CRs.
list, but it's already protected
Mm.
forever, so you don't have to do anything.
but it's still part of the inventory of open
Yeah,
land.
that's true. It would
When you
be-
come right down to it,
yeah.
it's still part of the
So
inventory,
it's
so
on
you
the
take a map
inventory.
maybe, and start putting things on a grid,
Mm.
that's for you.
All right, well, we'll put some thought into that one, but I think that one, where it has a finite time frame for the goal, I can start to put some
Good
thought
luck
into
to
that
us.
one.
Yeah. So we'd have to visit each of the properties to find out what's on them. I mean, is that,
I don't know, I don't think you have to do that.
You can
how would you know?
Google Maps.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
and you got the vision cards and all that on it, tells how many acres, and you can see the maps, whether there's wetlands.
Whether
or-
it's
assesses
you can see
database.
Bodies of
yeah,
water,
see
yeah.
wetlands.
Which we can, yeah,
So, anyway, I can take a start at that one, so that was G41A. I'll make a note that I'm going to take an initial look at that for next meeting, and see if I can maybe consolidate the list. It won't be in any prioritized order, based on what we talked about here, and then see what's involved, how much assessing there is. And in the meantime, maybe next meeting, we can set up a list of those attributes. We kind of know what they are, but there might be more that we're not thinking of.
were you on the open space committee when the last town planner brought in the big maps? And we put them all together on a table to look at
No, I don't-
what was open space. I'll try to bring those maps next
Yeah,
time.
no, it
I think
doesn't
you
sound,
mentioned
doesn't
it
sound
before.
familiar.
Yeah.
Because we put them all out on a table for the entire town, and looked at what we thought would be worth saving or looking into protecting.
That sounds like what this
I'll
goal
bring the
is.
maps next time.
Okay, yeah, no, that would be good, so, and anyway, and think about, attributes, we'll put a list together at the next meeting. And I'll try and consolidate a list of the properties from the list we have into one for evaluation. Okay, and, did anybody, I think that's enough to work on, but did anybody have any other goals when they looked through them that they?
I did, but that's enough for tonight. We have to pick our priorities.
Yeah, I mean, this is all volunteer time, and people have different amounts of time they can put into it. And, until you get into it, you don't know how much work it's actually gonna be, so I don't think we got anything here that's totally undoable.
No.
The other one we turned down, I think, could have been pretty extensive, but that one went as an ongoing goal. So that'll probably get some side work done on it, but it's not direct focus. All right, anything else on goals? And again, we'll be talking goals, it'll be on the agenda for next meeting. Carrying on our discussion here, and if anything else you wanna bring up, goals that maybe we should be addressing once we've digested what we talked about tonight as well. Okay, I guess we'll move on to agenda item 9. New business, any correspondence or announcements, I think we've already discussed through the different agenda items, anything that we've got, and I don't have anything else. Any agenda items for our next meeting that are not carryovers from our current discussion?
You just roll them over.
I think we got enough on there, so see what the objectives, which I don't know, we'll see if it makes sense to break them into.
Well, maybe you can take some of them up, but it's roll over the ones that are continuing.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
mean, most of us can, I try to keep the agenda to one page.
Exactly.
But, okay, I won't add anything new beyond that. And I think that's, anything else to bring up before this meeting, before we, move on?
Did we decide not to put anything in for an application in for the CPC?
Oh, okay, yeah, that was part
That's
of,
right.
yeah, I kind of put that in for the, in here with the,
It was on number
with the
8.
goals. It's such a short time frame. It's now.
Right.
And if we don't have anything planned, I don't have anything that I feel ready to go forward with that
I
is
don't think there's any, I
worthwhile.
don't think we're ready to put anything in for CPC.
And the good news is, the money earmarked for open space and recreation can accrue, so there'll be more
Yes.
money next year. And if emergency comes up during the year, we are allowed to
Emergency, yep.
apply for that. But unless anybody has something that he feels important and we're in position to apply for now, I don't.
Nope, I was just checking.
Okay, yeah, no, so that was a good point, because it was on the agenda to do that, and I forgot about that, because the objective discussion was complicated enough. But if something aligned with that, we were ready, but yeah, I think that takes a bit of thought and planning before unless it's a real simple application for CPA funds, and we're not ready this year, so. But as we work on these goals, maybe we'll have something for next year.
Yeah.
Thanks, Melissa. All right, if that's it, our next meeting is first Thursday in November, November 6th. It'll be 6 PM here at the Lakeville Senior Center. I have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
To make a motion to adjourn.
And a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
right, this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Good job.
1 hour and 2 minutes, I went over.